Good afternoon, everybody. Eric over at American Business Systems. Hope that you're doing well today. I'm going to adjust a few things here since I think we've got on here. It's good to see everybody. I had a little bit of time off last week. I'm so glad that I think Adam and the group were able to take care of it last Wednesday. And today we're going to talk about what business can see an ROI in less than 1 year. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Obviously, we're going to be talking about money, so hopefully this is be interesting to you. There's some folks on here I haven't seen before. Boy, it's amazing what 1 week will do from 1 week to the next. But today we're looking forward to spending the next hour together. Let me get my clock up here kind of working. I've got one of these clocks that helps me kind of keep up with my time right here as we kind of go through it. So it's good to see everybody. My name is Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon talking about ROI, your return on investment. So I hope that you're ready to come in and ask some questions as we go through it. I've got the Q&A box up already. So if there's some questions as we go through the presentation today, specifically on the topic that we might be on at that time, feel free to ask me the question. Now, we'll save and reserve a little bit of time towards the end of the webinar this afternoon to answer any other questions that you may have. So if there are questions that come in, and I think it might need to wait, I might wait until the end of it to get to your questions there, because it might be a little bit of distraction of trying to answer some questions when we're at the middle of another topic there. So, but feel free to put your questions in there. I'll be keeping up with that. Looks like we got a good group here. We got James, good to see you again. John, Kimberly, Michael, Aura, Adonis, good to see you. Okay, let's see who else we've got here. Shahid, I think I've seen you once before, so it's good to see everybody this afternoon. There's some more folks I can see that are logging in. So, but without any further ado, I want to get started because I do have a lot of information I want to kind of go over with you, and actually switch over between our slides and then get over to our website and a few other places I want to take you to this afternoon. So again, a lot of people may not know what a ROI is. Obviously, it just stands for, it's the acronym for return on investment. So it's what you're inputting into it as an investment, and you're looking for what kind of return are you going to get on that investment. So if you're going to put down $100,000, you at least want to know, when am I going to make that $100,000 back? You put in $50,000, when can I at least make that $50,000 back? Today we're going to be talking specifically of the investment that's here with American Business Systems, which is right at $28,990. I do know that in a couple more months, here we are, can you believe it, first week of October. But I do know at the beginning of 2024, the investment will be going up. It hasn't been released to me yet what the actual cost is for that, or the investment will be for that. But we'll let you know here, I bet you, towards right in the month of December here. So we'll get that all taken care of for you. But you still have some time to qualify and get in at the rate of the $28,990, as we'll be talking about today. So what business can see a return on investment? So folks, I'm going to share with you a little bit, obviously, just some basic financial business finances, what it takes to get started up in a business. I don't know if any of you have ever started a business outside of the one that you're looking at today, but if you've done anything, not always is everything calculated. You would think that everybody calculates everything, but hopefully today we're going to kind of take it down to the nitty-gritty and get all that for you. For those who have never met me before, again, my name's Eric Auger. Again, I'll be your host this afternoon. I've been hosting webinars for almost 16 years now with American Business Systems. So I might not know every question to answer, but I'll at least know where to find the answer, or the answer to your question. Most of the questions that you ask, though, I'm sure I should be able to help answer for you. I want to make sure that everybody's hearing me. So if you'll go over to your Q&A box, just tell me where you are calling from. So if you're calling from Texas, if you're calling from California, any of the East Coast states, Florida, the Carolinas, anything up in the Northeast, Central America, just kind of tell me where you're from. Kind of helps out. I like to make sure that at least number one, I'm being heard. And obviously, I'd kind of like to know where my audience is all from. So we've got some folks here from California. Laura's from California. John's from Minnesota. Good to see you. Michael's from Arizona. Good to see you. Appreciate you. We've got some more folks that are trying to get. Derek just joined in, and John. So John's there. James is from Oklahoma City. Got that. Latifa is from Baltimore, Maryland. Good to see everybody. All right, folks. I'm going to clear out. Number one, this tells me that I'm being heard, so that's a good thing. And if you don't mind, give me just a moment. I'm going to clear out all this, and we'll get started with a little introduction. Like I said, some of you are brand new. I don't know if I've ever actually met everybody yet so far. Derek's from Tennessee. Good to see you, Derek. Good to have you here this afternoon. Let me tell you a little bit about American Business Systems. As you can see, American Business Systems will be celebrating 30 years come January. It's amazing to be a part of a company that's been around for this long. I'm going to give you a little bit of history, when it all started here, and just how did it become what it is today? It's one of those made in America type stories. It really is. It's a beautiful story. I like telling the story because I'm telling the story of my friends. Patrick and Linda have been friends of Karen and me for, like I said, at least 16 years. We work with them, work with their family. You'll know some of you may be talking to Adam already, who is now the CEO of the company. But I thought it would just be kind of good for some of you to kind of know where the beginnings actually started from. And it all started with Patrick. Here you can see him as a very young man. He started from Salad Masters. If anybody remembers those days, at one point, Patrick was selling waterless cookware. So this guy's been around the block on being what everybody would know him as a serial entrepreneur. He's always was trying to find which opportunity would work for him, for his family, so he could have a more independent life. For a while, he worked for Apple Computer, which is, you can see him there. He did even some training for governmental institutions, but still wasn't satisfied just doing that. Wanted to try to figure out something to do for this family. So this is a picture, another picture, a little bit older there, Patrick to the left and Linda to the right. And the two kids in the middle, one is Adam, who is now the CEO of the company, and his sister, Sarah. And it was about this time that the Phillips family were introduced into medical billing, because Linda was actually asked to help out a friend of theirs who was doing selling durable medical equipment. And then obviously he also needed to bill Medicare for some of those equipments. That's your hospital beds and your wheelchairs and all those types of things there. So she goes, I don't know anything about it, but you know what? We could certainly use a little bit of income, extra income. So she took that on. And little did they know what was beginning to become American Business Systems. Patrick actually saw it and thought, wow, this is a pretty good thing. You're working from home. At that time, they were homeschooling their kiddos. Patrick thought, wow, I wonder if we could get another doctor. So they ended up getting another doctor, and he found out that's not too bad. Then friends were asking, Patrick, Linda, how did y'all start working for yourselves? And so he started teaching it. And boy, there's where the light bulb came on. And, it's kind of like one of those things where, you teach a man to fish, you give a man a fish today, he eats for the day. If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. That's the philosophy that Patrick took here. Why not just share what we've learned and teach others what we've been able to do? And that's where American Business Systems actually started. Well, obviously, as time goes on, Adam's grown up, and for a while, Adam played many different roles here at American Business Systems, to where Adam is now the CEO of the company. He's kind of taken over completely for Patrick there, and Patrick's in retirement now and enjoying that life, and so is Linda. And so Adam's taken over here, and which shows you a succession of the business in general, of where it's going. And Adam's a young man, obviously younger than I am, so you've got many years ahead of you for those that are looking to stay in this business. And obviously, with a lot of new technology that's coming out, Adam's really keeping up with that. So speaking of that, Adam's written some books that I'm going to showcase here in a little bit. He's kind of taken up where his dad left off on writing. He's also written some other articles for Billing and Coding magazine, as you can see here. And he is also the founder of an organization called Murmo. which is an incredible brainstorming, brainchild thing that he and the group here came up with, because what was needed was something that had longevity, but also for brand new medical business owners, medical billing business owners, to have something to hang their hat on, like a logo or an organization to be a part of. So Adam rallied some folks around him, created a board of directors. They came up with MIRMA. MIRMA is now the largest group of independent medical billers in America. And it is the organization that actually provides your certification once you've completed the training here. So what does that mean? Well, it shows that whenever you're talking to doctors and the doctors are going, so where did you get your education? You don't have to point back and go, well, I got it from this organization called American Business Systems. And they're going, well, who's that? Well, that helps you give you a different route to take. You can say, I got trained by the Medical Revenue Manager of the Association of America, and they are the ones that certified me as a certified medical revenue manager. So it avoids this whole thing about where you got your education, how you got your certification, where you got your training, because now you got an organization of MIRMA that a doctor can go back out there and look at, and they're not seeing that you just become an entrepreneur yourself and you went and got a business opportunity. This is a legit organization out there. So this really does provide you a lot of credibility as you start moving forward, especially as you begin here in the very beginning. So great organization. Now, a couple of other things to talk about is that we have our own medical billing platform, which is a cloud-based platform. The great thing about it is that it is run by and supported by an organization called NextGen Healthcare. You can go look at NextGen out there. You can go check them out. And so NextGen's been really, really good about having keeping up with our organization on our medical billing platform. I'll move my microphone up a little bit. I think it may have been too far out. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better for you. But NextGen runs and maintains this billing platform. Again, it's all in the cloud. It's a secure login. Somebody just wrote in, NextGen is amazing, very familiar in their work. So that's a good thing. So Latifa, thank you so much for piping in on that. And so what's great about it is that now we have our own system that's being maintained and run and kept up by NextGen. So this is a powerful system and a lot of credibility that goes along with it. So hopefully you can start to see right here in the beginning of the webinar today, even in this introduction, I'm trying to help provide you with a good understanding that once you get started here, you're going to have some credibility right out of the gates. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that for you as we go along. Now, a lot of people ask about, what do I get for my investment of the $28,990? Am I getting just the iClaim EMRX platform, and or am I getting a piece of one of these? What do I get? What you're looking at is everything that you're getting. You're getting every solution, every part of what you're going to need to get and help that doctor going. So you've got iClaim EMRX, which is obviously the billing side of it. Then for those that may be a little concerned about not knowing medical codes or anything, you have Audit Guard and CodeWrite. Those are two services that provide coding, medical coding for the doctor, and medical auditing for an organization. We have Virtual Care, which is a completely awesome system and program in and of itself, because this actually kind of got birthed out of the whole COVID pandemic. And so what happens is that doctors needed a way to still kind of stay in communication with their patients. And so what developed out of that is what's called remote patient monitoring, where the doctor can check in with the patient and making sure that their blood pressures are okay, or their weight's okay, or their sugar, for diabetics, using a glucometer. All of these are united fronts to allow the doctor to monitor their patients without ever having to go into the office. Well, what's good about it is that ABS has teamed up with an organization that does remote patient monitoring, and you can provide that service to the doctor. And on top of that, make money on top of that without even having to do billing. So this is a great solution. Maybe it's a great solution to get your foot in the door as well. For those that want to do dental billing, we've got DentaMax there. Obviously, all these other services, whether it's Quick Collect or Choice Pay, Compliancy Guard, or Auto Card, these are all other services related to revenue cycle management that help the doctor get things going there. Plus, if a doctor needs another insurance that they want to get on credentialed with, we have what's called credentials now, and then we have some other services, as you can see there, as the doctorable. So there's a lot of things there that you're getting for your $28.99. One of the things I wanted to remind everybody early on is whenever you get off the webinar today, make sure that you, if you haven't already done this, make sure that you get with your business coach that you're working with here and ask them to get you this research guide. Now, this is a pre-packed PDF because you're not going to want to, we're not going to ship it to you in a book form, but it is in a PDF that you can download. You can print out if you'd like to, but this is going to give you a lot of information, especially whenever you're maybe talking it over with some business partners and you want to try to get somebody else involved with you. This is very helpful for you to kind of go through it step by step, really what this business opportunity is all about. So this is a free research guide, so just ask for it. We'll show you even how to get a link of that. All right, so let's get in with the return on investment. So again, if you were to think right now, how many businesses could you start and have your return on investment in the first year? Well, there have been some that, gosh, have started with just a credit card. Maybe some people that have started with, I don't know, $1,000 to get their business up and going, and all of a sudden, here they go. I mean, my son, one of my sons is an entrepreneur at heart. He's doing this, and not doing the medical billing stuff part of it, but he's dabbling in all sorts of things, and he's got a business up and going over in Florida. But he's having to work at it. He's really, what he's doing is cleaning swimming pools. In Florida, there's like every house in Florida has a swimming pool, and they need a really good pool cleaner. And his investment was a little bit slower, and so we were talking about his return on investment, and he's at least getting to where he's kind of starting to break even, but it's still a lot of hard work for him to kind of get some things going there. But in this environment, this is where, when you're starting a business like we're talking about in medical billing or some of these other businesses out there that can have a large investment, you're going to want to know, gosh, what's it going to take for me to get to that break even and then be in the black? You don't want to be in the red with your money. You want to be on the other side, kind of like this, where the scale looks like here. You want to be increasing on this, and this is really what I think you're going to find pretty impressive here with American business system. So what I wanted to start off with is this little printout that I was able to find on a group called FreshBooks. Now, FreshBooks is it's sort of like it's a accounting software, and one of their people did an article on how long does it normally take a business to become profitable. I've always known this. I've always known it's at least 2 years, but in this article, he says on average, a new business takes anywhere from 2 to 3 years to become profitable. It just depends on what's going on, obviously the cost. And it says, according to the Houston Chronicle, the more capital business needs upfront to provide its products and services, and the higher its salaries, the longer it's going to take for a company to become profitable. Okay, so that's what it just means about that. But how many businesses are profitable within the first year? It says very few startup businesses are profitable within the first year. Most take 18 to 24 months to become profitable. Businesses with smaller startup costs, we say that ours is smaller startup costs, such as an online or home type business, which is what we are, may be able to turn a profit much earlier. And I think you'll find that through us from here. And again, for some of those that want to know exactly really the definition of what a return on investment is, return on investment is a key business metric that measures the profitability of investments or making activities by weighing the size of upfront costs against the net profits it produces. And the great thing about it is your net profits with American business systems are fairly low. I mean, and what I mean by that, you don't have a lot of capital, and you don't have to go buy trucks and cars and big equipment. You're going to find out to get your net profits back pretty quickly. So I've taken a couple of snapshots of our website because I want to just kind of just walk our way through this because there's some good information here, and it'll help us as we kind of get to this whole ROI part of it. Because I want to start here from our website to show you that the investment right now is $28.99, and that $28.99 again includes everything that I've shared with you. It's also going to include, and we're going to go through this in a little bit more detail as we go through the webinar, but it's going to include all of your training. It's going to include your lifetime of support. We don't run out in a year or 2 years. You're going to have a lifetime of support. It's going to come with all the marketing material that you're going to need, all the coaching that you're really going to need. And those coaching sessions are expanded not just in what you need to learn about medical billing, but it's also going to help you understand about the what you're going to need with even some of your social media, how to get that going and put all of that together. So this is really a package to really get the new business owner up and going, I'd say within the first 30 to 60 days. And that's a quick start because we also are trying to get you your return on your investment within the first year. Plus, within that first 30 days, you still have the decision to make as to whether to stick with this business. That's what the 30-day money-back guarantee is all about. And again, I'm going to share a little bit of that towards the end. So there are three components of what I say is what's known as your return on investment. Your first is your investment. What is it? It's what you're pulling out of your bank account, pulling out of your wallet, or from your savings at home or whatever it may be. What is that investment? And again, the investment here is $28,990. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little calculation here on getting back to that number. That's what we're going to be looking at. The next thing is how quickly can I get there? It's estimated that within the first year of business, your first year should be able to generate anywhere from, and this is very low numbers because you're going to see that. I like to stay very, very, very conservative whenever it comes to estimating or projecting what your return on investment can be. So you could be anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 within your first year. And success can be with just one doctor. Now you can see here, I've also added that it could be $35,000 to $65,000. Now, why did I put that number up there? It's going to depend upon what type of doctor you start doing the billing for. If you're going to be doing billing for a chiropractor, maybe a couple of chiropractors, you're going to be within that $35,000 range. The greater that you get in skill, not to say that chiropractors are not skillful. That was, don't take me wrong here. I love my chiropractor. That's why I said that. He would probably kick me if he didn't think he was skillful. But I see him more often than I see my, cardiologist too. But you got to understand, but the more acute, I'll put it that way, as you kind of go up in the scale, like from a chiropractor to a cardiologist, depending upon that type of doctor or provider that you're doing billing for, you could see returns up as high as $65,000 with just one doctor. So you can see right off the bat, within the first year, you got an investment of just under $30,000. Your window is always going to be between $30,000 to $35,000. And I always like to start off again at that lowest part, which is about 30. You really see some numbers at 30 to 35,000. But again, you're going to find that sweet spot to be somewhere in between. So you can see that not only can you get your return on investment within the first year, it's really going to only take you one doctor to do that. So that's what I want to kind of dive into here. Now, before I jump into this, I'm going to switch my screens here in just a moment. Right now, I'm in just a static screenshot right now, but I want to go over to our website here, and I want to play with a few numbers here because, like I said, I want to kind of go as low as we know that we can go, but I want to kind of go tap it out as good as we can get to there as well. So let's say that we are in this situation. People are asking always, what do I bill out? You're going to bill out anywhere from 4% up to 8%. The average claim amount is always going to be as low as maybe $90 up to $150, could be up even higher than that to $170. to 200. We just went to go see our doctor. It was just under $200. But that was because we were going to do our annual physical too. So you can see there, depending upon what the procedure might be, is always going to depend upon that. So I always like to kind of stay in the middle between $125 to $150. And that's where, again, we're going to play with them here in a moment. This other number is, gosh, it could be as high as 40 patients a day that a doctor sees, but it could be as low as 20 patients, depending upon, again, the specialty of the provider. And you can see, just looking at this, that one doctor could generate about $68,000. So what I want to do now, I'm going to switch over to and get to our website, because I want to show you where you can go find this. Okay, I'm going to move a few things around here, and I always like to go to our website because it's interactive. It's something. It's more than just staring at a blank screenshot and you're just kind of just looking through this. So we're really into our website. So hopefully you can see it kind of moving through here. Everything that I'm going through today can actually be found on our internet, on our website. One of the things I want to kind of draw your attention to is that big old blue button that's right over here where I'm kind of hovering over it. If you haven't gotten that downloaded, go download the 5 Secrets to Success. It's going to really start talking more about the marketing part of it. So please go download that. I'm thinking what I'm going to probably do between now and throughout the month of October is kind of start zero in and really what it's going to take to get the marketing up and going, because I think that's obviously everybody needs to know how to do that. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll literally all the way down to the bottom of our website here. So bear with me as I kind of go through all of this, and you can see all the different things. That's got a lot of different things. There's the Patrick and Linda story there a little bit. You can go read about them. And here's your due diligence process. Obviously, meet your business rep, your business coach that you're working here. Download that research guide, like I said there. Attend live webinars like you're doing today, or watch recorded ones. Speak with other business owners. Set up a live demonstration. Fun, get things going off and kicked off there. Right through here is going to show you some of our ABS business partners that work with us. So you can see all of these as they kind of just flash by here. So you can take some time through that. You can look at some other testimonials, but I'm still getting down here at the very bottom. So you can see how I'm all the way down at the bottom. Get down here where it says income calculator. So I'm going to click on that. And that's going to come up with something very familiar with what we were just looking at just a moment ago. Here's this billing rate. I'm going to get this up a little bit more so you can see that. First of all, let me make a disclaimer that there's nothing guaranteed here. This is just projections. That's all that we're looking at. It's all going to depend upon what you're able and capable of doing in your marketing to get your first doctor. And again, we always teach you how to get to your first doctor. All right, so remember we talked about where's the billing? What do we want to charge a doctor to do the billing? Because what you're going to do, you're going to end up processing a claim, and that claim is valued at something: $100, $150, $200. And what you're going to do, you're going to charge a percentage of what the claim amount is for your services. In the world of medical billing, that claim, that rate is going to be anywhere from 4 to 8%. That's going to generate your income. And depending upon, again, what kind of doctor you're working with is going to drive this particular number. Obviously, if you're working with let's say a chiropractor who may be seeing a lot of patients, you may not charge as much, or you might want to charge a little bit higher so that you can help out and balance that out. Obviously, if you're with a cardiologist, you may not have such a high billing rate because the return on what you're making is greater. But let me say this: whether you're doing billing for a chiropractor or a cardiologist, it's going to take you about the same amount of time, honestly, because you're dealing with the doctor's codes. And there are 2 types of codes. Some of you may know this. Bear with me, because I'm going to share this with others that may not know this. There's what's called a diagnosis code, which is what's wrong with the patient. And then there's a procedure code of what the doctor has done for the patient. So depending upon what the diagnosis of the patient is, is what the doctor's going to do, depending upon how much time that they spent with that patient and the other procedures that they may have done. So at the end of the day, each patient has a diagnosis code and procedure code. That's what's being used to bill. And then that's how the doctors get reimbursed. So, all right, so let's start off strictly in the middle. We got 4%, and then we got 8%. What's in the middle is 6%. So we're going to put a 6% there. That's going to just kind of give us just a rough estimate of what everything is. Because remember, I put 7. A lot of our current business owners are at 7% currently right now. And then let's put in this average, rate here. You can see in here, it's going to range. I should have gone a little bit lower on the lower end, $80 up to $200. And again, so just for the sake of just splitting the numbers, let's kind of split that between 80 and 200. So that's going to be, let's see, so we do 80, 90, 100, 130. That's going to split it, right? That's why I went for 125. I like the number 125. That kind of splits that 80 to 200, okay? Now, this is going to be interesting because not every doctor is going to see this amount of patients, but typically, the doctor's going to see patients in the morning, and then they see patients in the afternoon. Typically in the morning, the doctor's probably going to see probably the bulk of their patients, because in the afternoon they book that out for some other things, and they've got maybe some procedures that they may do, but they're still seeing patients in the afternoon. So let's just say that they see 20 patients in the morning, and let's say they see 10 patients in the afternoon. So that's going to be a total of 40 patients total for this one doctor. No, I'm sorry. If we do 20, and that'd be 30. I'm going to get my math right here. Okay, so with those numbers right there, you can see that that's going to potentially income for you $58,500, and that's at 6%. Okay, so that's a good way of laying this out here for you to kind of really understand. Now, again, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, we can put some other numbers here. James is asking, wouldn't the payout be less for doctors who are in network? They've agreed lower payments from the insurance companies. That would lower your percentage received when through or what you're charging at 6%. James, it's a good question. That's a more advanced question, but I'm going to kind of break it down for everybody to understand there. So a lot of doctors are what's under contract with their insurance companies, and sometimes what they're saying to the insurance company, they're raising up their flag and say, "Hey, I want to be a part of your network." Let's say like Blue Cross Blue Shield. I want to be a part of your network, so I can start grabbing all the lives that you have within your Blue Cross Blue Shield network, and I'm going to negotiate my rates down a little bit lower so I can get those. Okay. That's what this number right here is. That's what they're trying to juggle for. So it's not the percentage, it's going to be the claim amount that they get reimbursed on. Now remember, a doctor is going to see a patient 2 different ways. There's going to be a new patient, and there's 5 different codes that go with that. And then you have what's called an established patient, and then there's 5 codes that go with that. Typically, most doctors with an established patient, and especially with a new patient, are going to bill pretty much on the higher end, 99204 or 99205, or that's for a new patient. If it's an established patient, it's 99214 or 215. Okay, so those are the higher end codes. Sometimes a moderate code is used, but typically the time that the doctor spends with the patient kind of averages out there. If you just take a regular PCP, James, and they've got their contracted negotiated rates, a mid-level to a high end is always going to start off at 125 up from there. Okay, so that's why I still like to kind of stay within that 125 range there. All right, so let's play again with a few other numbers. Let's go down. Okay, we're going to go down on this number. Let's go down to 5%. Now, I know it changed that down there, kind of drastically. But what we're going to do, we're going to go up here. because this is where you might run into a doctor that's a cardiologist. Okay, so a typical cardiologist visit is about $185. Again, if they're seeing 30 patients, you can see that number bumped up to 72,000 just at one doctor. Now, again, if you think about it, we're talking about your return on investment. Your investment is just under 30,000. This is almost double that in many cases. Even if you just went with the typical thing that we always say, if we go at 7%, again at 125, and they're seeing 25 patients a day. I think I did all of that correctly. Let me just see if I can refresh this screen here, because it's picking up all kind of goofy things there. All right, so if we go to 7% at 125, seeing 25 patients a day. Again, that's 56,000. So that's just, again, that's just under, again, just under 60,000. So that's still almost double than what you're making there. So it's you can see there, what I'm painting the picture of is that, is it reachable for you to, number one, get your return on investment in the first year? And the answer is yes. Number two, how can I not only reach that ROI, but go above that ROI? And you can see that with just one doctor that you could do that. Imagine that you had two doctors, and the only way that we can add two doctors here, let's say that you had the same type of doctor and you're doing the same type thing, but yet you just double the amount of patients that doctor may be seeing, which again would be 25 one doctor, 25 another doctor. You're at, in this scenario, you've broken the six-figure income. Okay, and again, let's just be conservative here, guys. Let's not blow this thing out of the water here. Let's just be reasonable. Let's just say that you brought it down to 6%. 6% at $125 per claim with two doctors, you're still at $100,000 there. Or pretty doggone close rate. You're 97.5. So you can see what I want you to do is go in there and play around with these numbers here. This is the service that we've got for you. And again, it's not there to guarantee or imply that this is what you're having return on investment, but it's pretty doggone close, because this is what basically how our business owners calculate when they're doing their analysis. They're trying to figure out, how much am I going to make out of all this? Because all of your overhead with American Business Systems has been done on the front end. Obviously, your investment, all your marketing materials, all included, including your website and everything else that I'm going to show with you here. This is what we're talking about here, and this is how we're getting to it. One of the other things I wanted to share with you is that once you join American Business Systems, you get to join into our Facebook part of it, which is where we go into even more depth with our business owners, so you get part of all of that too. I was right there. I wanted to kind of show that to you. Same thing with LinkedIn. We've got a LinkedIn page that you can kind of tap into there. All right, I'm going to switch screens. I'm going to go back over to our keynote part of it so I can get back over to there. Are there any questions from anybody? Feel free to pop in there with some questions. But again, you can see here, there's that 7% at 100. Well, I did 150 there. 25 patients. That's getting you about 68,000. So again, it's almost about double of well, I guess it's a little over double at the 28,990. Just almost double what you're making there with us here at American Business Systems. All right, so again, what I want to kind of take you on from here is, what are you again getting from us here at American Business Systems to get to those numbers? Now, again, if you've got any questions, feel free to pop those in now. We've got about 20 more minutes left of the webinar. I always like to kind of keep people abreast about what kind of time that we have, because we get so involved in all of this, and boy, next thing we know, we're looking at the clock and it's already time to say goodbye here. But I figured what we would do here is, we've already been to calculate your potential income. We've already gone there, but I want to show you, if some of you have probably rolled this into your mind here at one point or another, why would I go with American Business Systems? Why not just go to a school and learn all of this? And what am I going to get there if I just want to go get a job in healthcare? Listen, you're not going to go wrong of being in the healthcare business, whether you're an employee or whether you own your own business. Now, remember, with American Business Systems, you're owning your own business. You may be doing the medical billing, but remember, you're the business owner. You can always hire more billers to do the work as you continue to keep growing. And these are the people that maybe you end up hiring. But I want you to put this in here. This is for 2023. This is still this year, of the medical coding billing salary report. Now, this came out again a little bit earlier this year. This is what's still valid. But what I wanted you to draw your attention to is one thing, and that's right down here. Let me see if I can get to my little pen here and get to the drawing, and I'll see if I can get this in red so we can do a little drawing here. See that right down here? Right there? Doesn't that number look somewhat familiar? It's pretty doggone close to if you were doing billing with one doctor. Now remember, this is their salary. Now, I'm asking you, do you want to work for and be employed and only bill for one doctor? Now, again, this is the average of people who are billers, coders, outpatient coders. These are all coding here. You can see all that. So if you look here for just a biller, about $57,000 is what an employed biller makes. Okay, that's what an employed biller makes. So hopefully all of this is starting to compute with you. Gosh, do I just want to go to a school if it's just to become one of these people? I don't think so, because again, what you're able to do with this is far greater than that. So, why is this important to know? Because it takes time to become a medical biller. It's going to take you anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half to complete some of those courses. But to become your own medical billing company through American Business Systems, it'll take you less than 30 days. You go, well, how can I cram all that I need to know that they're teaching these people over in these schools that take 6 months, maybe a year and a half? How can you cram all of that into 30 days? Well, understand that you're with American Business Systems and you've got full support. You've got 30 plus years of support. You've got 30 plus years of knowledge that's already here. You've already got coders if you need a coder. You've got all the expertise with you. You're not just going to a school just to get a degree, and those people don't follow you when you go get your doctorate. With American Business Systems, you're getting this team of support and people behind you that follow you everywhere you go from here on out. So, do you want to spend 6 months to a year to get that knowledge, or do you want to become a true business owner with American Business Systems and get all this done within about 30 days? Or do you want to just bill for one doctor, or do you want to bill for multiple doctors? Again, that's what we're going to kind of get to is here. What is it? So, we kind of back here to this one screenshot here where we kind of started, talking about the investment of the $28,990. We've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Why we have 30 days? Because we want you to take 30 days to still make your decision. But within that 30 days, you're going to take about 2 weeks of that 30 days and just go through the training. You're going to go through the training. You're going to have homework. You're going to have all these different things. That's what you're getting from us. And that's what we're going to do right quickly is to explore what the investment is. So again, everything that you're getting for the $28,990 is a one-time, all-inclusive investment of everything here, every aspect of what you need. Everything's included, okay? You don't even have to go anywhere. We used to have training, which was a lot of fun. We always enjoyed it. We used to have training here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We used to fly everybody in about every 6 weeks together. It was great to have that kind of dynamic, but it was a burden upon people, obviously, to leave, for a week, come into a training, fly in here, stay in a hotel, and get 5 days of training. But the difference between then and now, we used to have part of our package is that, once you get through with that week of training, at the end of that training, if you feel like this is not for you, you can always ask for your money back within that 5 days. Well, not only have we made it easier for you, you don't have to fly anywhere. You can actually sit in your own bedroom or office here, wherever you are, go through the training for 2 weeks, and have an additional 2 weeks to still make your decision. That's how much we believe in what we do and how we know that we can help you. So again, part of what you're getting is your software and mainly all of your marketing materials. There's not enough time in the rest of the day to show me really kind of do a deep dive in all the marketing materials, which include all of your flyers. You'll see some of these, your books that I'm going to show you here, but these are all custom marketing material. It's not just, you're going to get a sampling of some, but then what you're going to get from there is an opportunity to put your contact information on there, all of your customized information directly on there. But your products and services include iClaim. This is the electronic medical billing platform. Now, I'm going to interject here. If you haven't seen a demonstration of iClaim and EMRX, now's a good time for you to write that note down. We've got about 15 more minutes. So within 15 more minutes, I want you to go back and get back with the person that invited you to the webinar today and sign up and do a demonstration of both the iClaim and EMRX system. Folks, you're selling yourself short if you haven't done that at this time. This is so important for you to help make your decision, because what you're going to learn out of that is obviously the power behind this billing system, but you're going to learn something else, and which I think is just as important as everything I'm telling you today. When you've got a doctor that's ready to start making their decision, because they've got a due diligence process, we've got a due diligence process for you to take a doctor on. And part of that due diligence process is for that doctor to see a demonstration. The great thing about it is, if you start with us today and you got a doctor that's interested to move forward with you in the next 2 weeks, you do not have to do the demo. We actually do the demo for you, for your doctor. That's how much hand-holding we give you to make sure that you've got this. So what I want you to do now, before you invest one penny, I want you to make sure that you get back with your business coach here, set up a demo, set up another 2 or 3 demos, because you may want to bring some business partners in this, and you want to take them time, go through that iClaim and EMRX platform. But you're also getting Dentamax. For those, again, who want to do dental billing, we're going to help you with the same process that we do with iClaim and EMRX. Choice Pay and Quick Collect are services to help the doctors collect money that's actually owed for them. Now, I want you to think about this. You got October, November, December. What happens come January 1? Anybody knows what's going to happen to their insurance deductibles? It all starts over again, doesn't it? So you're going to have to meet all of your deductibles again. Sometimes those deductibles are a little high. So what Choice Pay and Quick Collect can do is help the doctor get those patients to get their deductibles met through Choice Pay and set up a payment program to get that done, so that then now their insurance can start paying 100% or 80%, whatever it might be. If the doctor has cash pay patients or the patient still owe money, you put that patient on Quick Collect. Again, that gets the doctor's revenue coming back in. You get Compliancy Guard. Folks, guess what happens come January 1st? Brand new assessment of all HIPAA compliances, all their rules and regulations that they did for 2023 need to be relooked at, re-upped, revamped, because they got a new year ahead of them. Folks, you're probably, I always say between this summertime through the end of the year is probably some of the best times to get involved in this, because you're going into the end of the year. Doctors are trying to figure out what they're going to do differently come 2024. Now, it doesn't mean you can't start in 2024 early too, because there's a lot of things that are still happening in that time. But I like it because it's a good time. This is where doctors are thinking, and I know that they're going to have to update their HIPAA compliancy documents. They've got a lot of things going on. They need probably still to get some patients that didn't pay in 2023. They need to put them on some type of payment plan. That's what Quick Collect is all there. Then you've got virtual care. There's the virtual care, remote patient monitoring. Documents are for coding. You got Audit Guard. What Audit Guard means is that, you may not know this, but doctors are audited sometimes 2 or 3 times a year, sometimes with Medicare, sometimes with other insurance companies. They need that service. But all of this is marketing material that you can kind of drip market to the doctors of all the different services that you have. Plus, you're going to get a completely fresh website. Now, this is just a sample of probably about 10 or 15 different types of websites that you can choose from and then customize yourself. You don't have to go write out everything. We've got everything written out for you. Got it all taken care of. I've already shared with you, you've got a lifetime of support already. Your support is there 100%, basically 24/7, because what I'm showing you right now is our licensee support site. This is everything that you need to know, all the documentation that you're going to need to keep going. Here are these flyers. You can kind of see right down here, there's a little bit of white space down in there. There's enough room there, and our printer that does all this for us moves a few things around here so that it has plenty of real estate on these flyers here to put your logo, your contact information, as though that you had all of these printed yourself. These are high gloss, 8.5 by 11. You're going to get a packet to put all of this in. So as you're creating, you've got a complete packet of stuff that you want to bring in for them, for the doctors, as you kind of go through this. I've already shared about a little bit some things about Code Right. That's what Code Right is. When doctors need their coding done, obviously, remember, you're a business owner. So I want you to start thinking as a business owner, not just the doer. You've got people that you can utilize to do the coding for the doctors. We have certified professional coders at service for you to do this for the doctors. There's enough money there that you're going to make money on top of this but you're going to have the doctor's coding done properly. I've already mentioned about Audit Guard, that doctors are under the microscope. They're always getting audited. How about we do an audit before they're audited to make sure if there's some things that need to be changed, we can help the doctors identify any charts. You know what I find out a lot are doctors who, and I'm going to kind of dive into the deep end a little bit here, the doctors who do what is called undercoding, which means that they could be billing for a little bit higher because their notes, there's enough information in their notes to qualify for that higher, but they're a little bit afraid to do that because they don't want to be known as overcoding, where the insurance company could come back and claw that money back, but their notes are good enough to get up to that level. Now, some of you may know that, some of you may not know that. That's why this Audit Guard is so important. Imagine going into a doctor's office here at the end of the year and say, hey, let's just take a review of what you've done this last year. We want to make sure that you're billing properly. It's not that I have to do your billing, but how about we do kind of a spot check and do a preventative audit on your practice. So as you're going into 2024, you make sure that you're billing properly. Well, the doctor will fall in love with you at that point because the doctor will go, gosh, I've been undercoding. You mean I've left that much money on the table? Yep. As you go forward, this is what you're going to do to bill correctly. A lot of times the doctors go, can you do my billing then? So you can see how all this works here. Compliancy Guard, again, it's all about HIPAA. HIPAA rules are violated every single day. This is what we go in and do a complete type of audit here, get them prepared, puts all their documentation that they have to have if they are ever under investigation or if they got a HIPAA violation complaint. That's what that's for. Quick Collect, I've already kind of shared that. Now, as I kind of wrap up here, I mentioned to you that you got all those marketing pieces, plus you're going to have a marketing piece that is unique to American Business Systems and obviously for you. Patrick and Dr. Vicki Racker have partnered together and wrote a book called The New Thriving Medical Practice. Now, what I suggest is that if you don't have a copy of this, I like real books. I like physical books to kind of look through and get that. You can get this off of Amazon, $25. I'm recommending you do it. It's not that we're making a lot of money on it. I'm not here to sell you a book. Matter of fact, if you'd like a copy of this book and you want it in a PDF format, tell your business coach that Eric mentioned to get a PDF of this. Go get you a copy of it. I want you to get a copy of it. I don't want you not to have a copy of it. But again, I'm the type of guy, I like pen and paper. I like to mark it up in myself. I like to keep my own notes there. This is a great opportunity for you to learn a lot more than what most doctors learn. But what's the great thing about it is that what does this mean to you? What does this book mean to you? Well, what it means to you is once you become part of American Business Systems and you've gone and completed the training, remember, you become a certified medical revenue manager. Again, what we're going to do is customize this book and have it customized that you wrote the forward to the book. We actually have a templated forward that you can take. You can admonish it however you want to do. You want to add some more of your take on it, go ahead. Make sure it's edited properly. We'll make sure it's edited properly. Once you're ready for it, we'll get those ordered for you. Now, not only are you part of MIRMA as a certified medical revenue manager, but you're actually part of a book that you've actually got your name on. And included in there is actually in the book itself. It's on the title page and at the concluding of the forward of the book. Folks, we've had so many of our business owners get brand new doctors, and they call up the doctors, and the doctors are calling those our new business owners saying, hey, I just got through reading your book. Why do they call it your book? Well, because your name is on the front of the book. This pushes you up in your credibility. So you can see, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to have a lot of credibility coming right out of the chutes here as with American Business System. So you got places there that you can see where your name will actually be. And it doesn't stop there. Adam has partnered with Dr. Vicki Rackner and writing his book, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. So this is a little bit smaller book. It's almost like a smaller, quicker book to get through. But you can see a little red sticker there. We've got customized stickers that says compliments of, and that would be through your medical billing company, but you're handing that out to doctors as well. So imagine not only handing out your business card or those flyers, but you're actually handing doctors information that's actually going to help them. That's why people do business with you. Why? Because they know, they like, and because they've read your book, they begin to start trusting you. That's how we help you with that. All right, so here's some other stuff here. Again, I'm running out of time like I always do to myself, but this is the auto card. Remember I mentioned earlier on there, I'll see if I can get to it real quickly right here. All of these are printed postcards. These are not just e-cards that go out in an email. These are actually cards that will go through auto card, and you can start what we call a drip marketing campaign. Let's say that you met a doctor at a function, you've met them at an event, an after hours event, you may have met a doctor at a luncheon, like a Chamber of Commerce luncheon or something, or you haven't even met the doctor yet, but you've made a partnership with somebody who knows a doctor, and you start drip campaigning those doctors there. We have everything set up for you to start doing that within AutoCard there as well. I've already mentioned the one-on-one live training for you. You got 30 days to make your decision or your money's back. Listen, we have everything that's included. And again, we talked about the training. There are 10 modules. It takes you a little bit less than 2 weeks to get through all of that. Now, if you want a much deeper dive into this training, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I really did go into a deep dive in almost every module that we're talking about there for what you're going to get trained upon. And then lastly, free lifetime support. Now, this is live support plus that access to the licensee support side. So we've got a team of US-based people here to help you by phone and email to help support you in every aspect. I think it's about 4 weeks ago, I interviewed our director of support, Tim Warren. He shared in that interview, in that webinar, of all the things that they do to help you get that first client. Because listen, we all know that first client is important for you. So we have all the products and services that you're going to need. Listen, folks, we're up at the top of the hour. I'm going to go right back over here. And again, I'm going to talk to you about that 30-day money-back guarantee. And again, it is just as simple as this. If at the end of your training, within that 30-day window, you've completed all your training and you feel like this is just not the business for you. You thought, man, I've listened to so many webinars. I've talked to my business coach there at American Business Systems. I just really thought I could do it. But you get through with that training, you just say, that is the best thing that Patrick Phillips and the Phillips family has ever done, is put together something like this. Because still, after the longevity I've been here, I know of no other business opportunity or franchise that actually offers anything similar to this. So I would say take advantage of it. So what are your next steps? Again, I've already mentioned to you about earlier on in the webinar about that research guide. So go get that done. There are other webinars that we've already done in the past. So go check us out on our YouTube channel /YABS. You're going to want to go speak to some of these other business owners. These are not employees of American Business Systems. These are people who sat in the chairs and on the webinars just like you have. Like I said, I've been doing this for 16 years. A lot of those people that are on this list are people who sat over there. And I want you to talk to those folks because they're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I like all three of those. I like this, give me the skinny on everything. So these folks are going to tell you, they're going to tell you their mistakes. Nobody can tell anybody better the mistakes than people who've gone through it and said, this is what we did wrong. This is how we corrected it. This is how we started getting our clients as quickly as ABS said that they could do. I've already mentioned to you, schedule your live demo, get that purchase agreement, start looking it over. I think it's about 5 pages long. You'll notice on the first page, about halfway through that page, is that money back guarantee agreement that you can take a look at. You can take it and let your attorney look at it, your CPAs, whoever you trust on the legal end, kind of filter through that. And then lastly, get your funding done, get your training started. We can actually start getting you training as early as next week. So by the time that we're sitting here next week, you could already gone through at least one of the training sessions already. Folks, we really are at the end of this year. If you think about it, we're in the last quarter of the year. Some of you have been on these webinars a long time. I want to encourage you to let's just go out there and go get it done. Let's do it together. Give us a call here at 866-565-8413, or give us an email at info@absystems.com. It's been my pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I'm going to open up. There are not any other questions that came in. So are there any last minute questions that need to kind of go through? If not, I'll sign off here real quickly. If someone wants to let me know that I'm still talking and alive here, that you can hear me, that might be a good sign too, to kind of make sure that I didn't lose anybody through here. So folks, again, we enjoy doing these webinars for you. I think it's important to attend as many webinars as you can. And we look forward to helping you out. So give us a call at 866-565-8413. Thank you, Elaine. You can hear me. Thank you. Okay. James says, thank you. Great info. Have a great weekend and week. You too as well, everybody. Listen, I'm thinking I'm going to probably dive back into, what we do to help you get your first client. So over the next couple of weeks, I may try to take a couple of different avenues of what we do to help you get your first client, how marketing works, how support works, how it all kind of pulls together. So be ready to be a part of some of these webinars coming up the next couple of weeks, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good evening tonight. Bye-bye.